Yeah, I'm going to be super honest with you guys. I got myself into some real hot water about 10 years ago with some of my liberal friends on Facebook because I was dumber back then. And I posted something that so many people on the internet today are finding themselves posting too, which was that I didn't really understand what was so bad about saying that people couldn't use food stamps to buy things like soda, candy, or cake. I got an earful from my more educated friends. And while all the facts and figures about why food stamps benefit the economy and benefit families really barely scratch the surface of what a family actually needs, those arguments are not the ones that really flipped me. Not everyone is going to respond like me, but what changed my mind was when I started thinking about it through the lens of attention and trust. On attention, I only have a finite amount each day, and ideally I'm investing my attention in things that actually matter. When a trillion things matter every day, that means you need to prioritize. Through that lens, it would make a lot more sense for me to focus on the fact that the amount of time it takes him to wipe his ass, Elon Musk makes more money than a family needs to feed themselves for an entire lifetime. Against the scale of the wealth gap in the United States, me choosing to focus my attention on a family that might get $650 in monthly food stamps kind of feels like I'm looking at a toddler with a quarter and a malignant narcissist billionaire sitting next to each other, and I make the explicit decision to ignore the billionaire so I can tell the kid not to buy a gumball. When you think of it that way, it doesn't look like an honest mistake. It looks like cruelty and malice, which brings me to my second reason, which was trust. Do I want to live in a world where I feel like I inherently cannot trust other people? Not just other people, but people with kids, other parents, families scraping by. How would I feel if I was ever in that position? When life is already that hard and it's already because of the ultra wealthy, the last thing a person needs is to go to the grocery store to buy a box of cake mix because their 2-year-old is about to turn 3. I feel like some butthole in a Cybertruck who inherited their parents' estate is overtly judging them for having the nerve to celebrate their child. This is why for the rest of my life, I will without question support food assistance programs. I have to live in a world where I trust other people to make the right decisions for themselves because I need them to trust that I will make the right decision for myself. Why is this simple ask so difficult for conservatives?